Footballers are often idolized for their performance on the pitch, their goals, skills, and moments of magic that make fans cheer across continents. But the measure of a truly great player isn't always found in the number of goals scored or trophies lifted. Sometimes, it's what they do off the pitch that leaves a deeper, lasting impact. In a world where athletes wield immense influence, some footballers have used their platform not just to entertain, but to uplift, inspire, and transform lives. These are the stories of footballers who went beyond the game, who changed communities, empowered the underprivileged, and used their voices for good. Marcus Rashford, feeding a nation's children. Perhaps no modern footballer exemplifies social responsibility quite like Marcus Rashford. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the Manchester United forward spearheaded a campaign to ensure free school meals for underprivileged children in the UK. When the government initially refused to extend meal vouchers during holidays, Rashford wrote an open letter urging officials to reconsider, drawing on his own experience of growing up in a low-income household dependent on free school meals. His activism led to a U-turn in government policy and secured millions of meals for children. He continued the work by partnering with food charity FareShare and launching a national task force to combat child food poverty. Rashford was awarded an MBE at just 22, not for his goals, but for his heart. Didier Drogba, the peacemaker of Ivory Coast. Didier Drogba wasn't just a goal-scoring machine for Chelsea, he was a national unifier for the Ivory Coast. During the country's civil war in the early 2000s, Drogba used his platform as the national team's captain to make a heartfelt plea for peace. After helping the team qualify for their first-ever World Cup in 2006, Drogba made an emotional appeal on live TV for the fighting to stop. The effect was powerful. A ceasefire followed. Later, Drogba convinced the national team to play a match in Bouak, a rebel stronghold, as a symbol of unity. Drogba's legacy goes beyond football. He helped bring a divided nation closer together. Juan Mata, the 1% Pledge. Spanish midfielder Juan Mata launched the Common Goal Initiative in 2017, pledging to donate 1% of his salary to football-based charities around the world. The concept was simple but revolutionary. If every footballer gave just a small portion of their income, the collective impact could be immense. Dozens of players, including Megan Rapinoe, Mats Hummels, and Giorgio Chiellini, have since joined the cause. The initiative has funded projects in underserved communities, from conflict zones in Colombia to refugee camps in Lebanon. Mata didn't just put money into charity, he built a movement around giving. Sadio Mane, the humble hero of Senegal. In a world of luxury cars and extravagant lifestyles, Sadio Mane stands out for his humility. The former Liverpool star hails from Bambali, a small village in Senegal. Despite global fame, Mane has never forgotten his roots. He's invested millions in transforming his hometown, building a hospital, funding a school, constructing roads, and even giving each family in the village a monthly stipend. "I don't need Ferrari or Rolex watches," Mane once said. "I prefer that my people receive a little of what life has given me." For the people of Bambali, he's more than a footballer, he's a builder of futures. Megan Rapinoe, voice for equality. Though not a male footballer, Megan Rapinoe deserves a place on any list of footballers who change lives. The USWNT captain is an outspoken advocate for equal pay, racial justice, and LGBTQ+ rights. She helped lead a legal fight against the U.S. Soccer Federation for equal compensation and used her international fame to amplify marginalized voices. Rapinoe's activism has made her a polarizing figure to some, but an inspiration to many. She proves that sport and activism can, and should, coexist. George Weah, from footballer to president. George Weah was one of the greatest African footballers of all time, winning the Ballon d'Or in 1995. But what's more remarkable is what came after football. Weah transitioned into politics and became president of Liberia in 2018. He grew up in poverty in a slum in Monrovia and later used his influence and wealth to fund education, rebuild infrastructure, and promote peace in a country recovering from civil war. While his political leadership has had mixed reviews, his journey from football to national leadership is a testament to the power of sport in changing lives, including one's own. Mo Salah, pride of Egypt. Liverpool's Mohamed Salah isn't just a superstar on the pitch, he's a hero in Egypt. He's donated millions to build schools, renovate hospitals, and fund cancer treatments. He also established a charity foundation in his hometown of Nagreg, which supports hundreds of families annually. Beyond donations, Salah has influenced cultural perceptions, especially about Islam, simply by being a devout, humble, and successful Muslim athlete in the global spotlight. When fans chant if he scores another few, then I'll be Muslim too, it's more than banter. It's proof that representation matters, and Salah is changing narratives worldwide. Eric Cantona, the rebel with a cause. Known for his charisma and controversy, Eric Cantona has always been more than a footballer. Post-retirement, Cantona became an activist and actor, often supporting causes related to refugees, housing rights, and social justice. In 2012, he even ran, symbolically, for the French presidency to highlight the plight of the homeless. He supported groups like Emmaus, a homelessness charity, and remains vocal about the need for systemic change. Cantona's impact reminds us that you don't have to be universally liked to make a difference, you just have to care enough to act. Nadia Nadim, from refugee to role model. Born in Afghanistan, Nadia Nadim fled the Taliban with her family after her father was executed. She arrived in Denmark as a refugee and found football, a path that would change her life. Today, she is an international footballer, speaks 9 languages, and is also a trained doctor. She uses her platform to advocate for refugee rights, female empowerment, and education. Her story is living proof that with opportunity and support, refugees can not only survive but thrive. Gary Lineker, from pundit to humanitarian voice. Former England striker and current TV presenter Gary Lineker has used his post-football fame to speak out on political and humanitarian issues. He's offered his home to refugees, spoken up for migrants, and challenged xenophobia in the UK. Despite criticism, he has remained firm in using his voice for compassion and decency. In an era where many fear backlash, Lineker's willingness to stand up for vulnerable groups shows true courage beyond the comfort of commentary booths. What drives these footballers? So what fuels these off-the-pitch heroes? It's more than just wealth or spare time. A few common threads emerge. 1. Personal experience. Many footballers come from humble or difficult backgrounds: poverty, war, racism. Their experiences shape their empathy and drive to give back. 2. Platform and power. Modern athletes are global celebrities. A single tweet from them can mobilize millions. They recognize the weight of their voice and choose to use it wisely. 3. Legacy beyond the game. While trophies gather dust, lives touched remain a legacy forever. These players want to be remembered not just for what they did in boots, but what they did as humans. Football's greatest goal: impact. It's easy to see footballers as just entertainers, icons with perfect hair and big endorsements. But behind the jerseys are human beings with stories, convictions, and hearts as big as their followings. From villages in Senegal to schools in Manchester, refugee camps in Denmark to presidential palaces in Monrovia, these footballers have redefined what it means to be a star. They've proven that fame, when used right, can heal wounds, feed families, and ignite hope. As fans, we cheer their goals. But maybe we should cheer even louder for what they do when the spotlight fades, because those are the moments that truly change the world.